We are tracking a cold front. Temperatures have dropped 10 degrees in the last hour in Tulsa.
And this cold air is coming from Colorado. Part of that state got a blast of wintry weather overnight. Roads were wet, icy, and covered in snow. Some flights had to be canceled.
Fox 23's team of meteorologists staying on top of the system. Chief Meteorologist James Adelot has a look at our chances for winter weather.
Yeah, good news is our precip chances are low, and any precip that falls will stay very, very light. Still could lead to some problems because just a little bit of ice can make for some slick driving. I think that's going to be a concern north and northwest of Tulsa. Here's what we're looking at on Fox 23 Doppler radar. We don't see any organized areas of precipitation right now. That means what we're seeing falling is just very light mist in the metro area. As we look south of I-40, we pick up some showers and some thunder here, but that's staying below severe levels, and temperatures are well above freezing there too. Temps right now in the metro are dropping quickly. We're now down to 47 in Tulsa, 42 degrees in Skyjack. You just saw that live update to 45 degrees in Tulsa, 36 now in Cleveland. Just a few minutes ago, we were 38 degrees, and we still have mid-50s on the southeast side of the metro area, where those cold temperatures are taking just a little longer to filter in. Wind chills are cold too, 37 now in Tulsa, 26 the wind chill in Pawnee. We'll continue to watch that 32-degree line very closely. It's going to move into parts of Green Country by later this evening and then track into the metro area. But as we look at the radar forecast, you also see a lack of organized precipitation. I think any freezing wintry mix we see should stay very light tomorrow morning. And the main problems, untreated bridges and overpasses, Pawnee, Osage, Washington, maybe Nowata County. In Tulsa, our temperatures too close to freezing, some of us staying just above freezing. I don't think we'll see any problems, at least in the city of Tulsa. Coming up in just a few minutes, I'll update those rapidly falling temperatures, plus I'll time out round 2 of wintry weather. This one could bring a little bit more punch back to Green Country.
Well, we are checking in with school districts around Green Country, finding out how they're preparing for the anticipated wintry weather. As we told you in our last half hour, TPS buses will be out early testing the routes. Fox 23's Janae Norman continues our team weather coverage. She checked in with administrators in Bartlesville to see how they are planning for the changing weather.
Tonight, for administrators here in Bartlesville, it's about watching and waiting. They tell me they're keeping a close eye on the forecast, and once the weather moves in, they'll be moving out.
They start driving around 4:30s.
Working with Bartlesville Police, Chris Tania says administrators, maintenance staff, and 2 transportation employees will check out road conditions before you wake up, making sure they're safe for you to head out.
They just check the conditions of the roads. They'll go to the worst spots that we know in town, where there are hills or steep inclines and whatnot, and check how the road conditions are there.
The information they gather is what we're discovering will be used to decide whether school should be canceled. Fox 23 is learning, if necessary, that decision will be made by 6 a.m. And once it's made, administrators use a calling list to notify personnel within the district. But we asked how parents will know whether anything changes for their student.
And we also have School Messenger, which is a notification system that sends phone, text, as well as email to all of our parents, and then we use our social media channels as well.
And once students are in school, I'm told you don't have to worry about early dismissal unless conditions take a turn for the worse.
Once the students are in school, we really try not to do any early dismissal. We really think once they're in school, that's the safest spot, and unless we know that it's really going to deteriorate.
Now, again, the timeline you need to know, 4:30 is when administrators will be hitting these roads. If a decision has to be made about school, that will come at 6 o'clock. In the meantime, you can be proactive about weather by checking conditions on the Fox 23 weather app. Reporting in Bartlesville, Janae Norman, Fox 23 News.
And stay with Fox 23 for continuing coverage of the winter weather advisory. Still ahead at 6, we're out with City of Tulsa road crews, what they look for before adding salt and sand to bridges and overpasses. And our team of meteorologists, photographers, and reporters will be out all night tracking the system. We will bring you an extra hour of Fox 23 News this morning, starting at 4 a.m. Friday, with live weather and team traffic every 10 minutes.
Today, the U.S. House passed a bill supporters say could lower your heating bills. It aims to speed up the permitting process for natural gas pipelines. Families in states far from the drilling boom often pay more for natural gas. You're seeing all these fires here. Democrats tried to block the bill in part because of what you see, saying it compromises safety. Congresswoman Jackie Speier represents San Bruno, California. 8 people died there when a natural gas pipeline blew up 3 years ago.
One of the truly frightening lessons of the San Bruno tragedy was that the many pipeline operators don't even fully know the conditions of their own pipelines.
The Senate reportedly has no plan to consider the bill. Heating assistance will once again be offered this winter to help families in need. The Department of Human Services will begin accepting applications December 10th. DHS has $8 million in federal money for this year's winter heating program. Eligibility is based on household income. We have put the other requirements and a link to the application on fox23.com. Click on the Fox box.
Crime scene tape is up and detectives are still gathering evidence at the London Square Apartments where a fire killed 2 little girls Monday. The girls' aunt, Miasha Moses, is behind bars for child neglect. Investigators say she left her 2 nieces in the apartment alone while she was cooking. Fox 23's Melissa Hawks is reporting in South Tulsa with how the community is paying tribute to the girls.
A memorial is building out front here at the London Square Apartments. We've seen people dropping off flowers, as well as you can see these 2 angels right here out front, balloons, flowers, plants, and even little teddy bears, all to honor Noni and Nyla. From crosses to angels, and the most endearing gift. A teddy bear singing this child's prayer. These are just little ways people like Joyce Jones can show they care.
To put it out there, and I mean, that's just paying respects.
The ashes are cooled, but the empty, burned building is a constant reminder of the precious lives that were lost.
You're never going to forget the kids, regardless of what they do. Kids are going to be in memory from now on.
The owner of London Square Apartments didn't want to talk on camera, but told Fox 23 he's devastated about what happened here. This is the second fire here in just 2 months, but Joyce says it's not at the fault of the apartment complex.
I believe it's accidents, it's people that's careless and not, watching what they cooking. And considering I cook a lot, I cook probably 5 days a week, and I've never had an accident or anything.
Neighbors are working to move forward, but will never forget.
It's something that we got to live with.
Things like these beautiful flowers sitting just feet away from the apartment they were inside of help ease the pain. The owner tells me this building still has not been handed over to him because this is an ongoing investigation, but he hopes that one day when this building is torn down and another one built in its place, it'll serve as a reminder of this experience these neighbors have gone through together. Reporting in South Tulsa, Melissa Hawks, Fox 23 News.
More details tonight. Miasha Moses remains in the Tulsa County Jail. She's charged with 2 counts of child neglect. She's expected to be in court next week. The services for the 2 young girls are pending. The apartment complex does not have sprinklers in the units.
Convicted mob boss James Whitey Bulger is appealing. Bulger's attorneys filed a notice of appeal in federal court late yesterday. They say Bulger believes his trial was a sham because he wasn't allowed to argue that a federal prosecutor, who has since passed away, reportedly gave him immunity to commit crimes while he was an FBI informant. Bulger was sentenced to 2 life terms plus 5 years last week for 11 murders, including the death of Tulsa businessman Roger Wheeler. The Tulsa County District Attorney has not decided yet if Bulger will be brought to Tulsa to face the charges.
Governor Mary Fallin is taking some heat for stopping state-run National Guard facilities from processing marriage benefits. This is an update to a story we first brought you earlier this month on Fox 23. Governor Fallin posted on her Facebook page Wednesday night that reports of Oklahoma National Guardsmen being denied benefits for any reason are false. Soldiers who want marriage benefits, gay or straight, must go to federal facilities. The Pentagon has said that this violates federal law.
Tomorrow will mark 50 years since the assassination of President Kennedy. In preparation for a memorial ceremony, Dallas has made a number of changes. In Dallas, curious tourists still come to this place, the place where those fatal shots were fired half a century ago. For this city, tomorrow will be a delicate balancing act of honoring Kennedy's memory without sensationalizing his murder.
The city, in general, was highly embarrassed and ashamed. But what made it even worse, the city was branded unfairly as a city of hate.
Dallas has spent decades trying to shake off the reputation of the city that killed Kennedy, which is not easy, as that dark day in history is rehashed daily by trolley tours.
Look up on this corner right here, up. to the 6th floor window.
And by those who don't believe that Lee Harvey Oswald acted alone. Conspiracy theorists sell JFK memorabilia and tell their version of what happened every day.
It's an embarrassment to the city, and well, it should be. But, you know, the city didn't kill the president. Somebody else did, and it wasn't Lee Harvey Oswald.
What will not be present tomorrow? Those X's that for years have marked the exact spot on Elm Street where the president was shot. The city says it's relaying asphalt to level out the streets and remove any trip hazards, but undeniably, all eyes will be back on this city tomorrow. Generations have passed, but the fascination with what happened here remains.
It changed the course of history in many ways. What would have happened if Kennedy had lived?
The new JFK monument will be unveiled during Friday's ceremony. It's in the spot of the infamous grassy knoll. The inscription on the monument is the final paragraph of the speech JFK intended to deliver the day he was shot.
A 1-mile widening project in South Tulsa is going to cost taxpayers a lot more than the average road project. Plans to straighten and widen Yale between 81st and 91st will cost more than $31 million. It's being funded by Improve Our Tulsa. That's 3 times more than the average project. Remember, we provide team traffic updates with KRMG every 10 minutes on Fox 23 News this morning, Monday through Friday, and tomorrow we'll be starting at 4 a.m.
New details on a major development coming to Owasso. As we first told you yesterday at 5, what that new project could be remains a mystery. Tonight, however, we have put one of the rumors to rest. It will not be IKEA. We do know the Owasso City Council approved using $500,000 in hotel tax money as a cash incentive for what's being called Project Socrates.
And I'm still tracking dropping temperatures in Green Country. This is over the last 3 hours, and look how they've fallen from 57 now into the mid-40s in Tulsa, and the wind chill even colder. I'll let you know how low that wind chill will go tonight and what parts of Green Country have the highest chance of seeing a very light wintry mix by tomorrow morning.
Serious safety concerns. The investigation into how a jumbo jet landed at the wrong airport.
Racetrack cheating, billions of dollars spent on doping. Now Congress looks to even the playing field to protect horses.